Hey everybody, welcome to our review of Lilo and Stitch. It's the
Aloha,
second
indeed.
time.
Oh, I should have had my Hawaiian. I have a Hawaiian shirt. I should have popped
Yeah,
that
I
out.
definitely could have had something more on brand too.
But
But so previously we reviewed Lilo and Stitch, the animated film, the original 2002, the week prior, because we have
mhm.
anticipation of our live action remake here. And so here we
Yep.
are. And we're going to talk about it. We haven't discussed our thoughts yet, so it should be interesting. And
Uh-huh.
as always, we'll start every review with our gut check, which is our initial score we're thinking going into the review out of 10. And then at the end, after the review, we lock in our final scores. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
Three, two, one, flip. 5.5.
4.5.
Okay. I was like really curious because it's like, oh, he's coming in with the Stitch Cup. Maybe he's like all about it. Maybe he's like about that,
No.
all hype about it.
No. No. I did not like this. In fact, as time has gone on, I feel like my scores even come down since then. I might have been at a 5.5 a couple of days ago when I
Yeah.
first saw it, but like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I really kind of despise this movie. I'm drinking beer out of this, by the way.
and
um,
and for what it's worth, like the reception online seems to be, I've seen some people that really like it, and some people that might be closer to us,
yeah,
but it's definitely like much more positive reception
way
than
more
Snow
positive.
White or
Yeah,
some of the other ones. Um,
yeah, and I'm to me on one hand, if all you're looking at with this movie is cute moments with Stitch and Lilo, and especially just Stitch doing whatever, this movie's got you in spades. That's
yeah,
pretty much, I would say, of the positives for the movie. Stitch is like the effects look great pretty much through the whole movie for him specifically, not for any of the other characters. We'll get to that. For him specifically, they nailed his look very well. They
mm.
made him very cute, very rambunctious. Pretty much everything that you would want from that character is kind of on display in the film.
And we'll keep it
So
spoiler free to start, even though it's like it's
yeah.
a live action remake. It's not a big deal, but to
Hmm.
start, we'll do spoiler free general thoughts, but then we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I kind of feel, similarly to how I was thinking going into it. It's like inherently it's going to be less charming than the original
Mm.
because
Hmm.
you can't be as. It's just not as natural. Um, because you have a live action Lilo and a CGI Stitch. Instead of having them
Right.
both on the same playing field, and they can have this match the same energy. There's still definitely cute moments with Stitch. There's definitely a couple of touching moments in there. And like if you view it in a vacuum, again with a lot of these live action Disney remakes, if you view it in a vacuum, you could probably up it a little notch from where we might end up being. But
But
we have a direct comparison. So we just watched
yeah.
the original, and so that's where we're always coming in on it. I mean, there's some clear
For-
diversions. Well, for the most part, it's actually very similar to the original, but then there's a couple clear, distinct deviations that that I didn't appreciate. With a couple,
no, I
yeah,
for the most part, yeah. I mean, a lot of the movie is literally almost scene for scene remake
yeah,
of the animated film, but like elongated, expand, elongate. This is the
well,
Office clip. Elongate. No, but a lot of it is like it really just feels like, oh, we just stretched out this moment like longer.
and
But a lot of it
there's
is like
also some where
literally
they
beat
like
beat for beat.
there was some where it was like really a abbreviated version of it, where it's
Mm.
like we need to make sure to get this beat in there, like the one where just the one scene where Nani is like, "Oh, the gravity,"
Oh yeah,
it was like a half a second.
yeah.
She didn't even
It's like
commit to it.
oh, well, that I think that even plays into one of my biggest problems with the film. Not in terms of the story. We'll get to the spoilers. I have a lot to say about that, but the technical aspects of this film, the editing was awful. It
Yeah,
was horrible. It was so it cut comedy it made some of the more comedic bits just like worse. Like to a point where you're getting kind of like, huh, what? Like when you're getting confused about like what's supposed to be going on and what's happening
Mm-hmm.
for a simple kids movie. Yikes. Yeah, it was very jarring.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not sure I don't know what was going on there in the editing bay, but it was very
There's something
distracting
weird going on
actually.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something weird. Yeah, there was a weird, like, it was kind of disjointed at points where it didn't seem like it flowed seamlessly. And
Yeah.
then there's a couple key decisions with, well, they massacred my boy. First of all, they massacred my boy, Jumba Jukiba. And they did not put respect on his name at all. When
Not
I
at
first
all.
heard his name, when I first heard him speak, I'm like, oh God, who is this?
Who is this man?
Oh, it's Zach Galifianakis is who it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
and you know it's Zach Galifianakis because he's in this movie for a lot longer than that character model that they used for him as.
It's almost like shameless how obvious it is that they were like, what's an excuse we can have to not have the CGI characters here the whole movie? Let's make them. Let's first of all, let's take away the entire charm of the disguises in the original, where it's like they're plainly like surely no one should be buying it, like this huge alien with like glasses and a hat on. It's comical. And this one is like, no, they have actually beautiful disguises straight out of Harry Potter. You have exact human form, and that's who we're just gonna rock with for the most of the movie. And I don't know which would have been better because Jumba is terrifying. He's disgusting.
He looks horrible. He looks horrible. I heard a friend of mine my friend Josh told me that he saw a behind the scenes or an interview with Zach Galifianakis, and apparently he said that he wanted to do an accent. They would even be times where he would be doing an accent and he was told to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, just stop your voice. He's like, I tried German, I tried a little Russian, and it's like they didn't want it. They just wanted me to use my normal voice. So I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
The one thing about Jumba is like, I knew him so much from the show, having watched so many episodes of that voice. He is like there's not nearly as much of him in the original movie, but his voice is like the most distinct thing about him.
Well, David Ogden Stier is, may he rest in peace. Incredible voice actor, just incredible voice actor. I mean, it's not even just that. He's like his whole career is just like nothing but hits. Like you've seen a cartoon in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. You've heard his voice in something. But
and this is like the complete opposite energy. The voice, we go totally. From and the accent to.
Hey, it's Zach Galifianakis. Say, what's up?
And it's like a different character we're working with. It's completely different energy from Jumba, and he's like kind of lame, not gonna lie. And then Pleakley is just kind of nothing to me. I mean, he's there. He's not the icon that he is in the original, but at least he looked closer to what was like serviceable. I don't know what they did with the Jumba. They're like, because already like you have to translate Stitch to live action. You got to make him furry, which to me is just never be as charming as the animated version. But at least he's cute still.
He looks more like a cross between a dog and a bug in the original. It's like sort of very insect-like qualities to him.
And if you're gonna do a live action, quote unquote live action. And the whole thing is he's like pretending to be a dog. You at least make him furry enough to do something.
I guess so. Yeah.
And he does say he's fluffy. He's cute and fluffy. And he says that in the original. But yeah, Jumba is just terrifying. He's like almost got like rat-like hair. It's like nasty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like stringy and gross. Yeah. It's weird.
So I guess I just always imagined Jumba as being smooth though. I didn't think he was like
hairy
in the same way that Stitch is hairy, but I guess maybe that's an example of why you don't need things to be live action sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. So boy, yeah. There's just so many problems with this movie.
In terms of broad
I
strokes,
yeah,
before we can get into spoilers soon, so we can just
yeah.
say, yeah, I don't like
Um,
some changes they made to kind of the spirit of the original film is lost a little bit in some ways.
mhm,
I don't think it's like the hugest mistake. It's like as glaring as some of the other live action remakes, like completely
mm.
deviating from the message. But there are some distinct changes that I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird.
to me, I actually think it's a fundamental betrayal of the message of the film.
And me.
I think, and and me personally. No, yeah. There's stuff that, well, I guess we can dip our toes in the spoilers. Yeah.
But just, well, to just say up front, I can't really
Just
recommend it.
no.
But to be fair, I went to see it with my family, my brother, my sister, my mom, and my nephew, and they all liked it. I'm the only one who didn't like it. And so, I mean, I think
Yeah,
maybe I'm just cynical, but
I
or hypercritical. Who knows?
I maybe, but like to me, I this is what I mean is that if all if you don't think too much about it, maybe we think too much about things. I don't know.
Yeah.
That is a characteristic of myself. But if you are just looking for a fun passing film with family movie with that's for, that's got cute moments in it, and cute scenes with some characters, I it's fine, but
It's a
like to
serviceable
me
family film. Yeah,
it's a serviceable family film, but like to me it's like just go back, like just re I was talking with my like Pathfinder group, my TTRPG group, and one of them was just like, at this point, like it would be nice if they just almost just re-release the original movies in theaters. Like at this point, it's like I get in multiple levels why they're doing this, especially because, and we've talked about this, I'm sure, with all of our live actions, but like it's most apparent here because Stitch is the most financially successful, probably their most marketable property in the whole 2000s of Disney.
yeah.
Cars notwithstanding, that's sort of the
I
Pixar
can't
thing.
wait for that
Cars,
one.
cars, the Cars live action. That
It's
would
just
be
cars. Yeah,
horrifying.
it's just
That
actual
would be
cars.
horrifying.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. That'd be so
Well,
strange.
yeah,
Yeah,
it would be so
they don't even put
Don't
eyes
put
on
eyes.
them. They just don't put eyes on them. They're just
No
like driving
mouth,
around.
nothing.
Yeah,
You just hear voice.
they're echoing out of the.
Because it's like we want to do the whole Lion King treatment where it's not really live action, it's just all CGI cars. Let's just do cars, and then
Yeah,
maybe like
I just want to see.
a face painted on it, you know.
I just want to see them be like, "Whoa, it's the," because Cars likes their little cameos. They're like, "Oh, it's the Cybertruck," and then like, "Hi, I'm Elon Musk, and here I am with my car." It's like, "Oh boy, oh God, when did they decide to make this decision to put him in this movie?"
Yeah. Not the Cybertruck cameo.
Not the Cybertruck. Why? I'm trying to think if there's any other like positives. I mean, most of the music is still intact from the original movie. Like the
I
score, not
appreciate
really,
that.
but
Yeah, I appreciated the Hawaiian roller coaster
the
ride
little,
just being there. It was nice to
yeah,
hear in the theater.
of course, it's a wonderful song.
Little girl, she's cute.
Hmm.
She's cute.
Yeah,
And I didn't think Nani was bad at all. They had their
I
moments.
wasn't a big fan. I didn't love the performances. If I'm
Oh.
being honest,
Well,
I thought they were fine.
yeah,
But like to me, like I feel like we've kind of gotten spoiled with how good kid actors are these like nowadays.
yeah,
That like I wasn't
yeah.
a big fan. She was the little girl who played Lilo looked right and she was cute, but performance
The performance
was not. I was
needed
not
some
the
work.
biggest.
Take some
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah, take some. I mean, she's very young. She
Yeah.
can take some
She'll
classes.
get
She
there.
can get better.
Shout out to what
um,
was it, Tia Carrera, who makes an appearance as the social
oh yeah,
worker. She's the
no, yeah,
original voice of Nani, so
that's right.
that's a nice little
Yeah,
nod. But So they did take Gantu out of there too.
Yeah,
There is no Gantu, and
no
yeah,
Gantu.
the villain is is not Gantu.
Jumbo Tequila,
Yeah, yeah, it's Jumba. So
which is
not cool. Not cool
weird.
what they did to him. And
No.
but at least we did get Cobra Bubbles in there. I was almost thinking like, did we not get Cobra Bubbles when Tia Carrera showed up at the door? I'm like,
Yeah, but to me, it's like so. All right, let's go full blown spoilers. To me, they shouldn't have even had him in the movie because they first of all they ruined the joke of his name completely.
mm-hmm.
Like where he just says he's his name is Bubbles, Agent Bubbles or Mr. Bubbles, and then she reads it says Cobra on your knuckles.
Yeah.
And she still says that, but it's like, well, we already know his name is Cobra because they said it earlier in the movie. So it's like, okay, well then why do we have it? They don't have any of his like ties to the Grand Councilwoman. Oh, another thing, Grand Councilwoman looked great. I will say that she looked fine. She looked maybe not great, but she looked fine.
Yeah.
She didn't look like off-putting like Jumba did. But it's like he did basically nothing in this movie. Like there was this whole thing where it's like, oh, he's reporting back to the CIA, and he's like the whole reason he takes on the case then with the other social worker is like, oh, he's gonna investigate Stitch, and then there's like this thing where he like grabs Stitch's lock of his fur, and then there's even like this shot where they like zoom in on it, and then nothing comes of that through the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
What was the point of having any of that? You could have just axed him entirely from the movie, and it would not have changed anything.
It's true. But at
so,
least we got his name in there. Cobra Bubbles is there.
At least his name there. We still get his name.
Can't say the same for Gantu. You cannot.
Yeah. You didn't not even nary a mention.
It's not like, oh, Gantu is away on vacation. Oh, that explains it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's just.
Yeah. So instead, we get Jumba. Jumba and Pleakley essentially are sent to be the villains of this little story, and the whole point, I guess, is for them to be the silly antics they get into under their disguises, and we don't know how to human, like, is this how humans walk? Could humans speak? They did a little bit of that in there, and I didn't find that very fun, but
no. I think the only one where I thought was kind of funny was when he was like, when it was them just like in the middle of a crosswalk and just dragging him across.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Just because like no one really seemed to care all that much for some reason. Like everyone just drove past them.
Was it Lilo that said like, is that man dragging another man?
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
And of course we got Stitch's original voice there, Chris Sanders, so at least that hits.
There's that through thread, which is nice. I did not really care about how it's like, he just gets his name because. So it's like they were running around for a whole day, and then she decided to name him Stitch because Nani mentioned something about needing to stitch the upholstery in her truck because Stitch like grabbed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Rather than it just being a quirky name, she came up for him because she's. So they significantly toned down Lilo's like weirdness level. Like she's not really
taking
weird.
Pictures of all the fat people on the beach this time.
Tourists. She's specifically tourists. She's not taking pictures of tourists. They completely down. There's none of that like whole sort of like undercurrent element of like a tourism being a thing. Well, that is still kind of present. There is still some like tourism, but I would say it's not. It's just there. It's not like done in any kind of negative way, where it is sort of done in the original film. Which is interesting because I think Disney is using this to promote. They have a new resort in Hawaii.
I know. I heard this. That's like controversial.
Yeah.
Kind of like it spits in the face of the original idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ironic.
Yeah. They're So yeah, so there's that element. They sand down like her like,
Yeah,
I guess it's
Lilo's
they hmm?
yeah, Lilo's more normal. Well, instead
Yeah,
of punching Myrtle in the face, she pushes Myrtle
she
off
just
the
pushes
stage,
her off the
and
stage. Yeah.
Myrtle is like generic like girl. They took away her orange hair and big quirky
Hmm.
glasses, but so like I wouldn't be able to
They
tell any of the girls apart. They're all just like normal girls,
hmm
but
um but like a lot of the to me the biggest crime of the film is that it feels like a Nani character assassination is almost like what the
the ultimate
is what a lot of
resolution.
yes.
Yeah,
I think that like making her like uber jaded about Ohana and like not like going back on that. It's like at the end of the film, she's basically right. You know, it's like, oh, well, mom and dad abandoned us, and I can't handle this, so I'm just gonna hand you over to the state, and they'll take care of it for you,
hmm
and I'm gonna go off and do my own thing. And it's like, I don't like that at all. That to me that's the betrayal. It's the betrayal of the message of the film.
of
It's like,
Ohana.
yeah, Ohana does encompass the found family. That's true, but you're a real family. I could just fuck off and do whatever. Like that. I found that very. I I was confused.
They kind
I
of
feel like
backpedal it though a little bit, and
they
how
they yeah they do, but it's like it's not satisfying in any
because
way. It doesn't change the fact that that's what happens.
we learned that
Where it's like, oh, you can come visit her with a portal
she's
gun.
secretly visiting, probably just regularly every night.
Yeah, but
Logistically,
okay.
though, how does that portal gun work? Because we see the portal gun,
Yeah.
you shoot
No,
one
good
spot
question.
and you shoot another. That's where you come out. So I'm like, what does
Yeah,
she shoot through the webcam or something? Like, and that just work?
a hither thither,
Yeah,
like
everybody's
the
got a
hither
portal
thither
gun
stat.
this time. Yeah,
Everyone has a portal gun. Yeah.
it's crazy. But
Um, but yeah, no, I just found that I found that frankly very trying to see if this is leaking or if it's just condensation. I hope this isn't leaking. That would be very poor. I think that's just condensation. It'd be very bad if this thing is leaking already. It's like I barely got it, and it's already doing that. Yeah, I found that kind of upsetting actually. Like towards the end of that's the resolution because I kept thinking like surely there's going to be a turn where it's like you get all these moments, all these things stacked against her that there'll be this turn at the end where someone will find a way to make things right and so that she can stay with everyone. And but no, it's not really, it's not really a turn. It's, oh yeah, no, you're going to have to be rely on the government to take care of her and give her the insurance. And it's like, yeah, she can stay with your neighbor, but she's still she's still in the foster system. So it's like,
mhm.
and yeah, you can visit her, but you're not taking care of her. And it, to me, it's like that. The sacrifice of family is like, it's one of the, to me, that's like the strength of the film. That there's strength in familial bonds, whether it be from found family, because we have the aliens joining their family. Essentially, they've changed. They've had a change of heart through this adventure, and they join the family. And you have Lilo and her sister grow stronger and closer than ever as a result of this. This is the animated film, and in this, it's
Yeah.
just like, no, it's like the neighbors taking care of her, and Cobra Bubbles comes and visits sometimes, and Pleakley's still there, I guess. And then Nani comes and visits at least every so often somehow.
Mhm.
Again, no idea how that portal gun works.
Mhm. Yeah.
um, and I just, yeah, it just doesn't. It's a fundamental, to me. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of the message of the film. Um, I think anyway, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And that's honestly what brings the movie down for me, like the most. I think there's a lot of other technical problems with it overall, but had they not made that turn, in the film, this would probably be like maybe a 6 for me. 6.5. Like
Mm.
I didn't love it. I still have problems with it. It's if not for that, it would be on the level of like Mufasa for me, where it's like, yeah, it was like a fine, enjoyable little movie.
Mm.
But that to me is just like it just left a really bad taste in my mouth, and I really just it's just his I've soured on me as I've thought more about it. It just I don't um because like I know people that have given up a lot to make things work for their family, and delayed education or delayed their um the gratification to do what they feel, to do their duty essentially as they see it fit. um and this is like, yeah, you don't have to do that,
Right.
is kind of the message of the movie. It's like, no, you should because like multiple characters are telling Nani throughout the movie, it's like, no, you don't, you should think about yourself. It's like, you've done so much for Lilo, you should think about yourself now. And I'm like, I don't love that message. I don't, there's too much me already in the world. It's sacrifice is still like, as a family, and this isn't to a toxic extent. It's sacrifice for the gain of keeping each other together, keeping that love intact,
Mm.
is so much more powerful than I'm not even really sure. It just totally falls flat for me. I really, again, very very sour taste
Yeah.
for me.
I do agree that they do fumble that Ohana concept a bit. I do,
Mm,
however, think that when they made the movie, they felt like they kind of like it was a bait and switch. I think that's kind of how I feel. They think the resolution is. It's like, okay, she did. Oh, she just gave Lilo up like that. Oh no, not really, because really she's sneaking in and she's still around her as much as she can, but she's also doing her thing. So it's like I can be there for you, but also do my thing. Thanks to this random portal gun feature that got dropped into this movie. But it's not
yeah,
as
but like,
yeah, it's not as wholesome as the original for sure.
yeah,
They want to have their cake and eat it too a little bit, but
yeah, because it's like we gotta have our women in STEM moment. She's going and being a marine biologist, and it's like, yeah, that's great. Like, you can change her having that. That's fine. But there could have even been like oh, so you couldn't get into the university, but the University of Hawaii has some stuff that you can do. Like, you can take some classes or something. Like, there could be any number of things where it's like leading up to, like, oh, the university called and they said that because this isn't like, how many other movies have I seen this in? But it's like, oh, the university called and they said that they can give you these classes that you can take over at this
online.
that will act as credit while you're getting things together or something like that.
You can take
Like
online
other movies,
courses.
yeah, online courses, so you can stay with Lilo and
They
take
could,
care of
yeah,
her
they
and
could have
figure
done
things
that.
anything.
Yeah, they could have done that instead of
Yeah,
her going away. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think their idea is that she doesn't really go away though. Like we kind of got you.
But
She's there. She's there every night.
what's why is there a gotcha? It's a gotcha for the like, haha, we're screwing the state. It's like, hey, I'm okay with screwing the government. I guess that's fine, but that's not how it's really presented
But
from in my mind anyway.
hmm, the biggest thing for me is that in the Lilo and Stitch the series, you see that Jumba and Pleakley essentially become cemented as part of that found family as well.
Yeah.
And like immediately, that's the whole dynamic of the series is they all live together, and some of them will go off and do this, get into these different things, and so
Jumba's essentially Stitch's dad.
yeah,
Basically, he created him.
yeah,
He's basically like his dad, more or less.
yeah. And then once it comes
And
to the series, he's like become more. He's just a chill guy, and that's part of the comedy of it is that he's this evil genius. Every now and then he'll
mm,
be like, "Oh, I want to do this evil genius thing again." It'll be
mhm.
an episode here or there, but he's not really. He's like really just a cool guy at the end of the day, and he loves this little found family too. So
Yeah.
yeah, they did kind of they left him out to dry in this one. He had to take the brunt of the villainy because I guess they couldn't imagine how to incorporate Gantu in here. I don't know.
Gentu's way too complicated. He's such a big hulking whale creature.
Whale
We can't have
creature,
that.
yeah.
That's way too much.
Yeah. I know. And Gantu is essential in the series too. I'm starting to appreciate more of the series now that I, especially when I watched the original and realized how much was fleshed out after that. But then now some of that stuff a little bit undermined. But
we didn't want to villainize the space cop.
yeah.
Yeah, come on. You have a whole narrative right there where it's like the cop is the bad guy. What's that? Come on, you've got something. You got something cooking there. But no, we can't do that for the kids. we can't we can't we can't have
And
that.
we got to have the fun hijinks of them being of the two live action actors.
Yeah. One of which was what's his name? Wasn't one of them already in a Disney live action? Wasn't not Zach Galifianakis, but the other guy? I feel like he was in Billy Magnuson was in Aladdin. I feel like he was in the Aladdin live action.
I haven't seen Aladdin, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like he was in that. So, and there was like plans to do something with his character from that to make like a series or something. So I wonder if this was like your series fell through, but you could be Pleakley and Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. So this easily could be one of those things where if you don't have as much attachment to the original, or you haven't watched the original as freshly, you might watch this movie and not really see as much of what's wrong with it. But yeah, for me it's tough. But
as well, and as a film that's like, to me, I've only seen it twice. I've only seen the original twice now, but the second time watching it, it's like this show is really like endearing it. Not the original film is really endearing itself to me, like as a standout, as one of the big standouts of like the 2000s for Disney. I mean, 2000s was already a kind of one of their weaker eras. You have things like Chicken Little coming out then, box office failures, Home on the Range, Treasure Planet, which I love, but what's the other sci-fi one? I can't remember it. Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and there's that too. So, which that's I have very complicated feelings
kind
about
of a quirky little group of films, isn't it? Cheeky little bunch.
It's the scrappy, quirky, cheeky stuff that it's like. It's interesting that like post-Renaissance Disney all has that sort of scrappy feel to it, where they all feel the movies themselves feel like underdog films, like rather than riding the highs of the musicals and the huge commercial successes of the 90s, that they then had this weird little scrappy films that just never could quite reach the heights of its 90s counterparts, except for Lilo and Stitch, which was a success.
Yeah.
But
this will undoubtedly be a success, I imagine.
This is gonna make $1 billion. I guarantee it. I think it's already made like 350 worldwide, I think, or 400 worldwide.
It's Stitch.
So
it's Stitch, bitch.
It's Stitch. Yeah, he's got. Hey, look, I bought into it a little bit. Crazy. I got this. And hey, I'll tell you this. I love this character. I love Little Stitch. He's a great character. I like collecting. You probably can't see it. I don't know where this.
That guy's not in the movie though.
I love plushes. What, this guy?
Yeah, it feels like
this guy's not in the movie.
Feels more like the original than.
He does look more like the original. That's kind of why I liked it.
Yeah, because if it was doing the
fur,
yeah,
a fur texture on it.
But if you had the live action, it'd probably be lighter, I imagine.
I guess I'll be part of the problem. I want some Stitch stuff. I'd like a Stitch plush. I love collecting me some plush. I might be a 33-year-old man, but I love me some plushes, man. I like Pokemon, VTubers. Hell, I could use a Stitch plush. I'd love that. I think he's a cute little character, and I love him, but
Love
not in
that
this
guy.
movie.
Well, I like him in the
Love that
movie.
guy. No, he's okay in this movie too, but it's in addition to like the fundamental problems. There's also like a lot of smaller scenes that I felt like were missing. Like we don't have the Stitch lost scene, Stitch being lost. That's like one of the most impactful scenes.
Not the okay.
Yeah, or that. We don't have that either, which is very funny. In addition to like the Ohana problems with Nani, her yelling at Lilo for saying Ohana and then being like, I don't believe in that anymore, basically. We have like that stuff, but then one of the sweet little moments in the original movie is when she's praying for a friend, when Lilo's praying for a friend on the shooting star. Nani overhears that, and that's where the meet cute between her and Stitch comes from, because she brings her, okay, well, maybe we'll get you a pet that could help. It's a friend for you. And then that's how they meet. And in this movie, it's just like, oh, the neighbor's taking care of her, and she says, yeah, you can go visit the dogs.
Yeah, it's very weird how we find ourselves in the similar, almost the same story beats, but just in weird tangential ways.
And it's those weird little, like, why did you change that? You just made it worse instead. It's a lot of like little things like that happen. Like, because most of the movie is pretty much just following the same stuff, but like even the even like I already said, like the Cobra Bubbles thing, but like the joke with David where it's like oh yeah, she likes your butt and your hair. She thinks you have a cute butt and nice hair or something. That just like, she just says that for basically no reason.
And because she's reading her text messages. She doesn't have a diary.
I rolled my eyes when I actually rolled my eyes at that.
I read your text messages.
Who's she texting that to? Who's she texting that
to?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you don't see any of her friends, like who she gossiping to. But
yeah, but that's that's the thing, is that Nani, the whole reason you endear yourself to her is because she doesn't have a support system in the original movie. Yeah. It's like she doesn't have anyone that she can really rely on, because David's just a guy, he's trying to like make something happen there, but she can't spend time with him. They can't go out or anything.
She doesn't have any guidance. She's doing her own thing. She's trying to figure it out.
And in this, it's like, oh, everyone's in the village is trying to help her out.
Yeah, like it's a nice woman neighbor character now. So that's
the sassy neiber.
Yeah.
The sassy neighbor.
What is she from, by the way? What is that?
I've seen her in something. I actually think she's a funny lady. Like I like her generally.
Like maybe she was in something random, like 50 First Dates or something.
Yeah, it does feel something like that. I'm not sure. Let me look that up actually real quick. I'd like to know that too, because I kept seeing her and I was like, what have I seen her in? She previously voiced Mrs. Hasegawa in the original film and in the series.
Who?
Mrs. Hasegawa, I'm assuming, is just I'm not sure who that is anyway. She's a little old lady with gray hair and wears glasses, the owner of the town's fruit stand. Okay, so the fruit stand owner in the movie.
I do remember her in the series too, in a couple of
episodes. So she was in that, and she voiced. So that is that's Amy Hill is her name. She was in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. She was in That's So Raven. She voiced that character in Lilo and Stitch the series as well as the movie. She was in the live action Cat in the Hat, Cheaper by the Dozen, 50 First Dates.
Okay.
You got it right there. Herbie Fully Loaded, Legally Blondes, which is a direct-to-video follow-up of Legally Blonde.
Okay.
She was in Spider-Man: Homecoming. She was like a bit character in that, in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Was she like what's his name's like grandma in that, like when
No.
Okay.
It says she's the decathlon moderator in Homecoming. This is the very first Spider-Man.
Homecoming.
Yeah, not No Way Home.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember that, but it definitely is 50 First Dates, because if I didn't, If it wasn't that, I wouldn't known. Yeah, it wouldn't have been that distinct to me.
She's a working actor. She's been
Yeah,
in so much stuff. Voice
it's a nice
actor. She's been live action roles. So
nice nod to
kind
the
of nice.
original, the
Yeah,
voice too.
yeah. And Jason Scott Lee was the manager of the Luau place, and he voiced David in the original.
Okay.
So yeah, so they had
Nice
like
little
nice little.
nods.
Those are some nice little nods. Yeah,
We
I
like
kind of
that.
appreciate that.
One last
Didn't make up for
thing.
the rest.
Yeah. Last thing before we get to our final scores, I think you mentioned going into this, you hope that they keep the fighting. We did get the fighting between Lilo and Nani. Did anything stand out to you from that?
That was I think when I first started to notice. Wow, the editing is so awkward and
Something, yeah,
weird and
something with the
bad.
editing was off. Because
Yeah,
it's like, yeah,
it
they're
just
saying
felt
the same stuff. It just didn't hit the same.
didn't hit the same at all. Like it. And there was also like quirky music too. It wasn't playing like the
Yeah.
Elvis undercurrent. It didn't have that. It was playing some other quirky music, and I was like, it just didn't fit at all. It was
Yeah.
like, doo, 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 doo. I was just like, it was not working. I liked it. Just felt that's what I mean. It feels like really raw in the original, and in this, it's just like it felt like characters acting out a scene instead of a real couple of sisters fighting.
Yeah, at least we
So
got the Elvis stuff in here a little bit. At least we got
a little
that
bit,
too.
a little bit, yeah.
But yeah, anyway,
Yeah,
final score.
in
Or
the
what?
through the credits in the credits bit,
Did
they
you
have
credits
Stitches
bit?
as
Yeah.
Elvis.
Yep.
Stitches Elvis shows up in that, but
Yeah.
that's it. That was it. That's all we got.
Final score. 3, 2, 1. Flip. 5.
25 still. 45 out of 10. This is amazing.
That's a Tarqaron score of 4.75.
Yeah.
I don't know where that puts it in our other live actions.
I'm not sure.
Probably
It's
above 75% of them.
probably, yeah.
What's ahead of it? I mean, there's Mufasa was higher.
Little Mermaid.
Lion King was higher. Okay, yeah. Little Mermaid, Lion King, Mufasa, Lady and the Tramp. They're all
Yeah,
higher.
those are all.
So the only ones
Those are all
lower.
high.
You got Pinocchio, Peter Pan, and Wendy.
Snow White.
Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all? I don't know.
I think that's most of them anyway. If that's not all of them, I'm pretty sure that's all of them. Though.
Yeah, we still got to review the better ones at some point.
Yeah, we gotta get back to because like man, I'm missing like crazy to think about this whole thing, this whole strand of Disney live action remakes 10 years ago. Cinderella, I think was the first one that came out in 2015. Man, it was nice.
Yes,
it was nice.
true.
We
Cinderella I haven't seen. I've heard that's really good, but then it
So
goes
good.
to Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast.
Jungle Book is incredible.
Yeah.
Jungle Book is incredible too. We should go back. That should be like. Here's the thing. Disney's doing a big pause on these.
But we don't
supposedly.
pause. But we don't. We just
They're
keep it
going
going.
to they're going to learn all the wrong lessons because this is going to make $1 billion.
True.
So
It's true. It's like, wow.
Um,
Okay, I guess there is a huge demand for this thing.
mm,
Shoot. Let's get freaking Moana, live action Moana, back in motion.
yeah, back in track. Let's
Which
get
will
Hercules
actually,
in there.
unironically, make a ton of money too. So yeah, they'll keep learning their own lessons because
Hawaii. You got to get that Hawaii vibes, man.
But
You know, just
Moana-
keep that going.
we saw it with Moana 2 we didn't like either,
No.
and that's just instant Moana money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moana means
that's-
family.
I'm still Moana means family. I'm still hope. I do have hope for Moana 3 that they can kind of because Moana 2. I mean, we talked about our problems with that, where it's very much they cobbled together the stuff that was in a series, and they basically like rushed that, stitched it all together, and made it a movie, and it just doesn't work.
They did what to it? They stitched.
They stitched it. Hey.
Hmm.
But I feel like with more time, more energy to cook, they could probably make something special out of it. But
And this was a success for some people. You know, I'm not going to deny that there's a contingency of people that enjoyed this film. Significantly more than some of the other live action films. But you know,
I
it's
I, I found it kind of interesting because I saw some people saying, I think I saw a Letterboxd review that was like, this is the Thunderbolts to Captain America: Brave New
oh, I
World.
saw that too.
This is to
Because
Snow White as, and
yeah,
I was like, I don't know if I could disagree more
right.
because like Thunderbolts was very good. I very much enjoyed it. It's not perfect by any means, but that is kind of like a wow. I haven't seen like a
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Marvel film like this. Isn't that Deadpool Wolverine notwithstanding? I haven't seen a Marvel film like this in quite a while.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Whereas
That's their take on this
that's
film.
yeah, and but I
They're,
don't know,
they're
man.
like, this is
I don't
night and day from this and Snow
yeah
White, is what they said. When I came out, I was actually
I
torn on which one I prefer at first. I was like, would I
yeah.
rather watch Snow White right now? I don't know. But
I feel like because this does hit all the same beats, even though I think it's in a way that's not satisfying,
yeah,
I'd probably still watch this again over Snow White.
there's more to
Um,
it. Yeah.
more to it, yeah. And I mean Snow White. I mean, I just man, just I'm just gonna when I have kids, it's just like we don't need to watch these live action remakes. Just watch the originals. Like
They
the
won't
kids
even
will
know
love
they
it.
exist.
Kids love animated films. They
You
love animated films.
you won't even let
I do
like
too.
you won't even let knowledge of live action remakes even reach
they'll be,
them.
yeah, they'll be like a swear word at my house. It's like, ah, you can say all the swear words you want, but if you mention the live action remake of the Disney films,
If anyone
you're
mentions
going to
it,
your room.
it's a crazy harebrained conspiracy by the government. Huh?
Oh
What
my,
are you talking about?
that's yeah, what do you mean? There's no Disney live action remakes. No, no, wait!
And you're
Don't look up your dad reviewing it with his friend Alec. Zach, don't look that up. Don't watch him. Don't watch him doing that. What do you do? What are you talking about? He didn't review that.
It's like,
No.
yeah, it'll break them when they find out when they're like 18. They finally they find out that these existed, and you watched all of them, and yeah, they completely rebel and they only watch live action Disney from then on. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful how you
Be
raise
careful about that. Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
You gotta give them the option to be like, this does exist. I prefer this one personally, but I'm not gonna tell you can't watch the other one. Just watch this one first, and keep your mind open.
Hey, there's some merit to some of them.
Yeah,
You know, Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid was kind of a breath of fresh air when it comes to a lot of these.
ironic because it's
Or a drink of,
underwater.
I was gonna say, or a drink of cool water, maybe.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and yeah. So that's it for us here for Lilo and Stitch, and for presumably new live action remakes for some time. Like we said, hopefully we can sprinkle in the missing ones we haven't done, which are like the main ones are Aladdin, Jungle Book, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast,
yep.
Dumbo,
we
Tim
I know
Burton's Dumbo.
you've seen that one. I know that.
Yeah,
And we can get Rusty back for these. Obviously, with him having a kid now, that's very difficult for him to get out to the theaters to see these movies.
yeah.
But with those, it's just catch a movie at home, stream it on Disney Plus. You can watch it with Lauren and with a little one, and there you go. Boom.
Well, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, like the video. Leave a comment, let us know if you agree or disagree with us. I know, because I look on Letterboxd, it's like averaging around like 3.2 or something.
Yeah.
Which ironically,
so
it's like right
positive.
around. It's technically higher than Little Mermaid, and it's right around where Little Mermaid is. Somehow,
that's wild to me. That's great. That's insane.
Somehow there's like highs and lows in almost equal measure, as far as like where's Little Mermaid was too, which is I think that's crazy.
Hey, look! Little Mermaid still had its own CG problems.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Flounder.
exactly. But I think people don't appreciate enough like her performance in that. Like
Her performance is amazing. And like I think kind of like we went into the review. You should go check out that review, by the way. We did that with Lauren. You should go. I think that all the little added stuff, kind of like what I appreciate about Beauty and the Beast again, is all the little added stuff with her and Eric's relationship is just like that. Just it makes the movie. It really makes the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And the songs are for the most part really good, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also,
Scuttlebutt, you know,
yeah, Scuttlebutt is a highlight too.
it's a highlight. It's a big highlight. It's a
Aquafina's
big
there, you
highlight.
can't go wrong.
It's bringing the comedy.
Talking about water. And so, also, if you enjoyed this video, go check out our review of Harry Potter 20th Anniversary Return to Hogwarts. Okay.
Yeah.
Check that out too.
Did they cast Aquafina in that because it's the Little Mermaid? And they were like, well, it's a lot of water here. Her name's Aquafina.
Aquafina. Thematically,
Yeah.
it'll work in.
Yeah.
You get some brand deals. I don't know. Yeah.
Get some brand deals.
All right. And take
Cool.
care. All our Ohana.